G'day, ZiggyD here, and welcome back for part 9 of the Path of Exile Survival Guide series. In the last episode, we rescued Clarissa and found out the unfortunate news about Tolman unlocking the sewers. We then progressed through the sewers, got the Warehouse District sewers waypoint, and got both of the busts from both of these. Now we need to go get the third bust now, and also get the waypoint in the next zone. That's what we'll be doing mostly in this episode. Now, I did equip my Grand Mana Flask. I forgot to do that last episode, and it would have helped out with some of my mana issues, so I've made sure to do that now. We're getting level appropriate flasks, and on that note, it's probably time to upgrade our life flasks as well. You can see it required level 18, and we're up to now getting level 26 flasks, the Grand Flask as well. So we talk to Clarissa now and see if there's any flasks we can get, though I'm not sure if I have much in the way of currency. Looks like she doesn't. Oh, she does have one Grand Life Flask, and we can afford that, so that's definitely worthwhile getting. Because as you can see, the life is a big difference. 380 life over 6 seconds to 300 life over 7 seconds. So a slower, smaller heal on the Greater Life Flask compared to the Grand. So let's go ahead and grab this fella. We'll go ahead and equip that, and we can just get rid of this one now, because it's only going to sell for a scroll fragment anyway. So, we're going to take the waypoint to the Warehouse District sewers, and then we're actually going to try and find the exit from this zone. We can't go through this sewers like we did go through the other sewers. So, you'll notice if we go up in this direction, we certainly can't continue along here. We later have to get a quest item to be able to kind of unblock this undying blockage sphincter-like thing. But we can find the exit into the above ground zone of this particular area, so that's going to be our first objective. And again, just being careful of things like leap slammers and undying grapplers discharging and things like that. All of the dangerous things in this particular sewers, because these is pretty nasty. But I'll continue on, and we'll see if we can find one of these exits. We're just looking for an orange door, as usual. Okay, so it looks like we've found it. I tend to just stick to one of the walls after coming out from this waypoint, and usually it's on one of the top side areas that you'll find the exit. If we head south too far, we'll end up finding the exit to the other sewers in the zone prior. The slums sewers will end up finding. So we want to go to the Warehouse District, so that's the exit we're looking for. So let's head on through there. As you can see, I've got an Ice Nova going off around me at the moment. I think zoning cancels it, unfortunately. Now, you'll notice that this sewer entrance here will always spawn inside one of these houses. Now, you've got to be careful in these houses because there usually are a lot of Undying Grapplers. The Undying Grapplers tend to hang around inside these houses, so you've got to be a little bit careful. You'll notice I'm also running Projectile Weakness now. We got that pretty recently, and it's it's certainly viable to start using that. Typically, at this level, the area of effect, the radius of the curse, is pretty small, so it's best just used on magical monsters and rares and things like that you want to kill a little bit quicker. But it's going to increase the amount of damage you do and also help you hit them and give you a little bit of knockback as well. If we actually take a look at the curse itself, we can see what sort of things it does. We got the 15% chance to knock back, not a big deal, but can be a small defensive buff, keep things away from you. Projectiles an extra chance to pierce. It's going to work really nicely with Ice Shot later. And we can actually start switching to Ice Shot. We could, but it deals a bit less damage at this point, and the mana cost is very high. So we're probably not going to start using Ice Shot until we get Blood Magic. They also have less chance to dodge projectiles, and they take, of course, more damage. 25% more damage is a pretty big buff. One of the biggest damage buffs you can get is from that curse. So pretty nice stuff, pretty nice stuff. So we're just going to progress carefully through this house. I don't think there's anything else too much in this zone we need to worry about just yet until we actually start progressing through it a little bit further. So I'll continue on, and I'll see you guys in a moment. So once you make your way outside of the house that the sewer spawned in, you pretty much want to start heading towards the north. We're eventually going to be trying to find the exit to this zone and then the entrance to the next zone, where some more action happens where we find the entrance to the sewers. So unlike the other sewers, we couldn't really continue through it to get to this next zone sewers. We actually have to go to the next zone above ground and then go back down into the sewers to get the final bust. So you're going to have to pop in and out in a few different places in this act. It's a pretty interesting layout as well. It's kind of like Act 2. Act 1 was very linear. Act 2 was kind of split off in two directions. And Act 3 is kind of just all over the place. You end up backtracking a bit and doing a few different things. So, but it's kind of fun. It's kind of fun. Okay, so we found the exit to the marketplace now. You also notice I got a hexing shrine, which inflicts random curses on hit. Pretty interesting stuff. I also got a level, so we're going to keep beelining over to blood magic. So I've looked at this passive tree and thought a little bit, what will be the best way for us to get to blood magic as quickly as possible? I'm thinking we come down here, we grab this 12% life node, and we leave the rest of this for later. We can get this life and regeneration later, but it's not hugely needed, but that 12% node is really nice for 1 point. From there, we're going to pretty much beeline straight along. We can get Unwavering Stance. I haven't decided yet whether we'll need to do that as soon as we go past it. But we'll want to go straight down from there to grab Blood Magic. Now, as soon as we get Blood Magic, we can also get Blood Drinker, which will help us support Blood Magic. We can probably even get that the level before. And 2% Physical Attack Leech will help us support Blood Magic pretty well. From there, we can get these life nodes, and then we can start filling in all of the rest of the stuff, heading up towards Resolute Technique probably from there. Now, I also suspect that once I get to the end of normal difficulty, normal Act 3, so when we get to maybe the Dominus fight, I'm going to go back and run through and grab all of those respec points we skipped earlier, so I'll be able to show you guys how to do that quickly. And then we're going to respec out of these 4 points to actually rush towards Blood Magic. These have been very helpful for leveling, you know, stun recovery and life regen and stuff, but we're eventually going to path up this way instead. And we'll get this again eventually, but we don't need this so much now once we actually pick up Blood Magic. So it'd be fine to drop that. And you shouldn't be afraid to kind of respec your build a bit as you're going to get things that you need. Like, for example, if we need extra int, we can grab this now and respec out of it later. And don't be afraid to do that sort of thing. Lucky I just popped out, although this guy might have started killing us in our passive tree. But we'll head into the marketplace now. There's a few things we're looking for. We're looking for a waypoint, and we'll also get a burning shrine, a free one. Yay! That's pretty fun. Looks like we're being chased by firestorms. Awesome stuff. But we're looking for a waypoint, and we're also looking for a quest item, which is a bit tricky to find, so we're going to have to be pretty thorough in this zone. And what else are we looking for? We're looking for the entrance to the sewers. So those are going to be the 3 things we're looking for in this zone. We want to make sure we especially grab the waypoint. But this is pretty fun having this firestorm kill these guys off for me. It's pretty sweet. Pretty sweet. I'd like to build a character that could have that happening all of the time. I guess with cast on damage taken, you could do something like that. So for here, we're kind of just going to head to the north. It looks like this particular map spawn, we have to head off to the east a little bit before we go north. But you'll notice this is a pretty cool zone. It's all got wrecked city areas and things like that. And as you can see, these statues come to life when you get near them. Now, these melee ones aren't a big deal, but these archer ones hit pretty hard. They cast Ice Shot, which is going to be the bow skill we're going to use soon. Ice Shot also leaves a slowing effect on the ground, as you can see there. And that you want to get out of that as quickly as possible because it's going to slow down your attack speed and all that sort of jazz. And they hit pretty hard too. Those Ice Shots hit pretty hard, so you want to watch out for that. If you don't have any cold resist and you're taking too much damage from them, you could consider putting a cold resist ring on. Now, as you suspect, this is indeed a trap. I think you used to be able to run on the outside and not trigger these, and I think you can still do it a little bit, but you're still going to trigger a lot of them. It's impossible to get through now without triggering some of them. But we can go through and clear these ones. Obviously, the larger ones deal more damage, and you'll also notice we've encountered the zone boss. He's just up there, so what I'm going to do is draw these guys out and try and kill these guys off before we actually start fighting the zone boss. So, the zone boss is using Lightning Shield. You can see that Lightning Shield effect on his shield there. If you hit that with any sort of attack and he blocks, it will zap you. This zap can also shock stack you as well. So you'll notice I just got hit by lightning damage then, even though nothing was attacking me. So that's something you want to keep an eye out for. Just keep an eye out for the shock stacks. And if you can use something like Fire Trap, Poison Arrow that doesn't actually hit him, you can actually kill him off without taking any shock stacks from that. Now he also uses Lightning Strike, I believe, as his main attack. If we let him get into melee, yeah. And that does quite a bit of damage. So again, if you're having too much trouble with this, you can always switch out to a Lightning Resist ring. I have okay-ish Lightning Resist at the moment though, so I'll probably just be okay just kiting him. We could also use our Curse to make him take extra damage, and use Frenzy. We're going to get hit by the Lightning Shield every now and then. We'll see how well I can tank him with just Frenzy, and 1 life flask left. I'm going to run out of mana in a second though, so we might want to go back to kiting soon. Yeah, he's hitting pretty hard. He's hitting pretty hard. So we'll just kite him. I'll just kite him down slowly. Ooh, and walk him over my fire traps. Now, the thing to know about Lightning Shield is it's a fair bit more dangerous against characters that attack very quickly with lots of small attacks. Because it's procced and it does a flat amount of damage, and it procs, that means it actually damages you whenever he blocks. So it doesn't matter how much damage you're dealing. If you're doing bigger, slower attacks, he's going to block less, and you're going to take less damage overall from it. But if I'm using something like Frenzy, it's going to hit a lot more, or if I'm using like, you know, chain attacks and something like that, and it's chaining and hitting him a lot more, I'm going to end up taking a lot more damage from him. So just slowly working him down, because I'm almost out of life, and I'm completely out of mana, but I don't feel like going back to town, and as soon as I kill him, I know we'll get our fast charges back. There we go. Did we get any good gear from him? We got some full ring mail. How's our armor looking at the moment? Could we even wear that? We could potentially wear that. Let's investigate this full ring mail. It's not very good. I'm just going to drop that. So, no good loot, unfortunately, but we did kill him off okay without dying, so good stuff. So we'll just continue through here, and we'll start looking for the waypoint and the quest objective first. Now, the quest objective that we're looking for, it's actually not a quest we have yet, but it's an item we'll need for a later quest, is within one of these ruined houses somewhere, and it doesn't actually appear on the map, so you kind of want to look for it. It's kind of in a chest sort of thing, so we'll see if we can find that, and I'll point it out to you guys once I actually manage to find it. But I'm just going to explore out all of these houses to try and locate it. Okay, so we've found the entrance to the catacombs here. The catacombs is just a side area that you can farm, and it's actually a really nice farming spot later in a later difficulty of Merciless. If you do want to go do some farming in normal difficulty though, or you just want to go check it out, feel free to go check it out. It's not a particularly dangerous zone. There's some ice shot mobs in there that deal a bit of damage, but overall a few things that'll try and freeze you, so maybe get some cold resist, but overall it's not too difficult. But the important thing for us is that once we locate the catacombs entrance, we'll also locate the waypoint, because it always spawns right next to it. So from here I'm going to continue searching these houses. Oh, we found the marketplace sewers, so we want to remember where this is, but for now we want to find this quest item before we go into there. We've gotten the waypoint, we'll go find the quest item, and then we'll head into the sewers. Okay, we've got it. I found it. So if you have your item labels enabled like I currently do, and which I recommend pretty much always running, I only ever really turn it off when I'm doing endgame maps and things like that, and there's too many items, I just hit Z to turn it off and on. But if you've got that enabled, you will see the label for the ornate chest before you see it, probably. And as you can see, it doesn't appear on the map. A lot of quest objectives do appear on the map, so this is kind of a hidden side quest one. But we're going to do it because we get an item from it, and it should be fun to do. So we'll make sure to grab this here. Now, grabbing the ornate chest will give us the Decanter Spiritus, and we're going to have to keep this in our inventory for a little while, so we're going to occupy some slots there. But from there, we're just going to go straight back to the sewers now, since we've already got the waypoint. If you don't have the waypoint, make sure you grab that, because you will want to come back here later. But for now, let's head down into the sewers. Now, I believe this sewer zone is just slightly harder than the previous one, but it has the same sort of things you're looking out for. Fire exploding, undying alchemists, and the poison exploding undying alchemists, and also undying grapplers that discharge, and a few things like that. But just watch out for chaos damage, try to stay out of chaos damage AoE effects, and watch out for those undying grapplers as much as possible. Looks like we've got quite a few shrines in this area, so it'll be interesting to see what this one is. Still trying to figure out which is which from the visual cues. This glowing one has appeared to be a number of different things. I've had ones that were crit strike ones, and I've had ones that were like increased size ones, so it's possible this is an increased size one, because those mobs look a little bit bigger. What is it? No, it's just a different. Okay, so we can't really tell from the effect. This is increased armor, evasion, and energy shield. Wow, 67% armor. Nice, nice. So that's pretty exciting, and I guess a little bit of extra energy shield doesn't hurt. But pretty nice physical one. So we're going to use this one to clear our way into the next one. We're still going to take full damage from chaos damage though, so we do need to be careful of that. As you can see, that undying alchemist does a ton of damage. He's probably, yeah, he's a rare one there, and he uses extra projectiles, so those guys stack up a little bit. I think the explosion from these will stack, so we'll just try and stay out of his area of effect. Unfortunately, losing the other shrine buff, but better to stay safe. Better to stay safe. Now, I am playing this in a softcore league, of course. There's no penalties for dying in normal, so this is a good chance for you to learn. There are penalties in the later difficulties, 5 and 10% experience 5% experience in Cruel and 10% experience in Merciless. So that increases as you progress towards the game. So you want to get in the habit of not dying, because 5 and 10% experience when you start to get to higher levels is actually a pretty big deal. But you know, although there's no risk to dying in normal, I try to develop those good habits, and I also just like to always play like I am playing a hardcore league, because I do often play hardcore as well, and I don't like to jump back over to hardcore and have developed bad habits. So this is a pretty nasty pack to get through at the moment. Try and work my way through them. But what shrine have we got in here? I can't quite tell. It's a bit tricky to spot what those actual shrines are, so you have to be a bit cautious until you know what's actually happening in there. Now, I did find a magical bone bow, so this is the sort of thing I do want to check out, because although our current run's okay, we could potentially pick up one with high fizz damage, and that's pretty rubbish, so we're going to just go ahead and drop that. This one is an increased crit shrine, so this is actually going to be pretty fun, because we're going to be able to crit everything we hit. Since we're also running some cold damage now, in fact, we can probably even put on the Hatred Aura just to freeze things for a little while. That should be a bit of fun. But it's pretty nice being able to just crit all of the time. I'm a big fan of that. It reminds me of the olden days when we used to have the really OP diamond flasks that would cause you to have 100% crit chance. They have since been nerfed to only give you an increased chance of having a crit strike. But it was pretty cool back in the day when they used to be like that. But we've found the final stash now, so we'll be able to grab this bust. And as soon as we grab this, we can actually just use a portal scroll to head back to town. I'll go ahead and grab this chest first. And we get some passive points now. We get a passive point and 2 passive point respecs. So let's head back to town and grab this and see if there's any additional gearing up we can do. Okay, so we go talk to Hagen, and he'll give us a Book of Skill, which we can then activate for 1 passive point and 2 refund points, as you can see. So I'm going to use this here. And should I go ahead and use those refund points now? I'm happy with a bit of extra damage for now. When we get a bit closer to Blood Magic, I might use some refund points, and we'll do a full refund run, and we'll go ahead and do it all in one go. I'm going to sell that rare because I'm actually unidentified, because I'm actually in need of transmutation orbs. So getting those should be helpful. I also want to double check again to see if we can upgrade this Greater Life Flask. Looks like she has got some new ones. However, we're pretty low on scrolls, but if we sell an armor as scrap, we should be able to get one. We want to upgrade our flasks as soon as possible, all of the time. So there we go. Good stuff. Okay, so from here, we've gotten all of the busts. We can take the marketplace waypoint, and then this zone should already be explored if we did that fairly quickly enough, which we did. And then what we want to do is kind of just head along the north side wall here, and we should be able to find an exit into, I believe it's Battlefront. And here we go, as you can see, through the crumbled walls here into the Battlefront, which, as you can probably tell from the scenery around here, has been the site of some battling. So this zone, things get a little bit more dangerous in here. We have shield charging mobs, which we had encountered in a brief fight earlier in Act 3. So we want to watch out for those. Those guys also resist elemental damage by quite a bit as well. So they're pretty hard to kill, but we're also looking out for spellcasters that come alongside them. They use Arc to deal extra damage. They use Spark as well, I believe. But most importantly, they cast Lightning Thorns buff on their friends. Now, Lightning Thorns, here's one of them, the Blackguard Mage. As you can see, they're using Spark at the moment. Let's see if we can get one of them to cast Lightning Thorns on this guy. Let's see, there we go. Okay, he's now got Lightning Thorns. Whenever we attack an enemy with Lightning Thorns, we take lightning damage. Now that's not too bad if you're only hit with a slow attack, but it does basically a flat amount of reflected damage back to you whenever you attack a Lightning Thorns enemy. So if you have a very fast attack, or if you do a lot of attacks very quickly, you're going to take a lot of damage. Later on, with things like Chain Lightning Arrow and things like that hit a lot, when you have a big group of those can deal a lot of damage to you. Ooh, we have another Diamond Shrine. That should be fun. But yeah, so you just want to kind of take it slow with Lightning Thorns. Use your single target attack to pick them off if you can. Looks like we've found the waypoint. You do want to, you don't need to grab this, but I think it's probably a good idea since we're going to be ending here. So from the waypoint, we're pretty much going to head over to the northwest, kind of. We're going to head west mostly. So west by northwest. And, oh, looks like we've hit the hit a wall there. But just progress. Oh, we got our final crit from the crit shrine. But yeah, just watching out for these Lightning Thorns, because they do a fair bit of damage, even if you're only hitting every now and then. And they can also, because it is lightning damage, it can also shock stack you, in addition to all of the lightning and things like that. Since it's actually a pretty high lightning damage zone, we could probably actually benefit from equipping our lightning resist ring here at the moment. And that'll help us mitigate some of that damage. Okay, so you'll eventually make your way over to where the quest item is. You can see the exclamation mark on the map over there. And with it comes a zone boss. It's another one of these elite captains here. Again, another dual strike cleave enemy. They deal a lot of damage. And, you know, if they're with some of those spellcasters, they're also going to get lightning thorns and things like that. So you want to kill off the ads around him first, which we'll do using a combination of fire trap and poison arrows to just clear those guys down. And obviously he does a lot of physical damage to melee, so you want to try and tank him with your life flask, or you just want to try and keep kiting him. We should be able to... Oh, no, we're not. I don't think we're going to be able to tank him without any life flasks. If we had one life flask, we might be able to. Let's see if we can kill this one. Oh, no, no life flasks. Alright, we're just going to have to kite him then. Kite him the rest of the way down. And... there we go. Oh, he hits pretty hard. But we got a chromatic orb. So we got something off him. So from here, we're going to grab the black guard chest. And now we get the ribbon spool. We are getting quite a collection of quest items here, as you can see. So, from here, you have a bit of a choice from here. You can head off to the right, to the northeast, to go find the Gemling Queen, or you can head towards docks to get another quest item, and you're going to need that for the Gemling Queen anyway. So I like to go towards docks because we can also do a bit of farming in there as well if we want to. It's really good XP in the docks, and it's not too dangerous as long as you can cap out your fire resist. So we're actually going to rush to that waypoint. So you pretty much just head directly north from that quest item there, and you'll get the entrance to the docks. Now we're getting a little bit low level for the zones we're actually in. So let's check this out. And I'm starting to feel it as well. Docks, for example, is a level 32 zone, and we're level 27. This is doable, but it's getting a little bit borderline, getting a little bit risky. But if we just carefully farm in docks for a little bit while trying to get this waypoint, we should be okay. So these guys here use Phaseron. Basically, that means whenever they're doing this kind of like swirly running effect like that, if they hit you with a melee attack, that first hit's going to do a lot more damage. So if there's a lot of them phase running, you kind of just want to kite them a little bit until they're not able to hit you. Most of the time it's not going to be a bit of a problem, but it is a bit of damage buff and one that you've got to be aware of. Okay, so grabbing our level, I'm going to go ahead and grab the 12% life here, which is going to make a big difference, up from 900 to 966. Hopefully that'll help us survive here in docks. And the other side effect of not quite being high enough level is that most of the stuff we find in this zone we're probably not going to be able to use for a few levels, but that's fine. We can actually use our new bow now that we've leveled yet. But that's pretty exciting, so I'm just going to make sure all these guys are dead. There we go. So this should be a pretty nice buff. It's got pretty nice damage mods there. So we're going up from 91 DPS to 109, so a bit of about 20. Not too bad. Actually, that was losing the Hatred Aura because we had that on our weapon there. So let's actually reactivate that and see how we go now. Oh, 124, because it does have a physical mod, so we're getting a bit of bonus damage there. Pretty nice stuff. We should be able to kill things much more quickly here in docks now. So the skeletons and things like that aren't too much to worry about. Some of these guys will do ice shots as well, so if your cold resist is at 0, then you're going to take a fair bit of damage from those guys. Those ice shots deal a fair bit of fizz damage as well. And most importantly, they'll slow you down, so try and stay out of the effect of that. Now, docks has kind of like a pier-like layout, so it has these kind of train track zones areas here, but they eventually lead off to the sides towards piers, and we're going to actually search down these piers because the quest item and the waypoint we're looking for will be down one of them, so they'll be down 2 of them separately. But we've got a few Undying Workers and Skeletons. These are all pretty boring, these mobs, but there is one other mob type in here that I do want to show off because it's a bit dangerous. But we'll just kind of keep cutting these forwards. All of these mobs can be grouped up pretty nicely to kill off. Alright, so we've gotten to a section now, one of the piers, that has a downward step, a pretty large area with downward steps. Now there's always going to be a blue pack here and the quest item. So you know you found the quest item when you've gotten to the end of one of these guys and there's a big blue pack there. But we'll kill off the rest of these guys first before going and encountering them. An arming cax. 2 stone ring. No, I don't think, we probably don't really need that. But that might be handy for balancing our resists a little bit later on. So as you can see, there's a big pack of blue skeletons here. Not that these guys aren't always blue, but blue in terms of rarity. And these ones are frenzy as damage. So because we're a bit lower level, we're taking a fair bit of damage in here, but we're still able to kill things pretty reasonably. Especially, you know, cursing them and using our increased damage bow we just equipped. I should also be using fire traps and poison arrows as much as possible as well, because it's going to increase my overall damage output. But from here, we want to grab the supply container, and we get the Thaumatic Sulfite. Now we have all of the items needed to go see the Gemling Queen soon. We'll keep leveling up our Projectile Weakness. We pretty much don't have any skills in this build that we don't want to level. Since we're going Fizz-oriented, physical damage, pretty much all of our attacks will get leveled up as much as possible. It's only on some elemental builds that you don't level up attacks, and then some mana builds that you don't level up certain things like clarity and stuff like that. There's very few instances where you actually don't level up anything, and I'll make sure to tell you guys if there's any reason why we wouldn't, and you should be able to learn from that a bit as well. So from here we're going to head down and try and find the next pier that will have the waypoint. Now, you'll notice that a white death bow just dropped. That's the next tier of bows that we're going to be looking at. Very slow attack speed, but that's kind of okay for us at the moment. And with 30, that's a level 32. Now, we could pick that one up, but I might just wait for a little while, see if we can get any blue drops. We're probably going to farm docks a little bit until we're appropriate level, actually. So just keep an eye out, start keeping an eye out for rare death bows, rare or blue death bows in here, and see if we can find one with high fizz damage. They actually do a lot of fizz damage, the death bows. They're a good candidate for our build. And we're not really finding the actual waypoint that we're trying to be finding at the moment. But we're getting good XP, and since we're probably going to farm in this zone a little bit anyway, it's not too bad, not too bad. This is probably one of the only times you'll actually farm a zone in normal difficulty. And then again, that's only really if you're underleveled as well. If you've kind of been pacing yourself, you probably won't really be underleveled when you get here, and you won't really need to do any farming at all. If you're around 32, you're probably fine to continue onwards. Oh, a rare Crusader helmet. We're yet to find any really sick loot drops in this one. We found some pretty nice ones last episode, but let's see if this helmet does what we're looking for. Whoa, 57 life. Wow. Accuracy rating's pretty handy. Extra mana is something we need. Some lightning resist. Oh, this is very nice. And some rarity, some bonus rarity. As soon as we're high enough level to wear that, I will definitely wear that. We have enough strength to wear that as well. We get a lot of strength in this build, so armor type armor is fine, and armor energy shield armor is mostly going to be fine until we get a little bit higher level. But again, just continuing farming in here until we eventually find the waypoint. And here it is! Also, a massive truck going past. Holy crap. So we get the waypoint, and you'll also notice that Captain Fairgraves, oh, okay, we've encountered you before, is now reappeared in Act 3 to give us a side quest. Now, we have the Decanter Spiritus for him now, so we can give that to him, and he'll take that from us. But he also wants a plum, so we'll get that later as we continue our progression. We'll come back here to get a bonus item from him, but at the moment, we can't complete this quest just yet. But giving him the Decanter Spiritus is a good idea now because it freezes up some inventory space. So I'm going to farm a little bit more. I'm probably going to get to at least level 30 before continuing on. So to do that, I'm just going to use the waypoint from here, go back to town, wait for this to load up. Then we're going to click on the waypoint again. Now we're going to control click on docks and create a new instance. This will refill it up with monsters for us to kill, and we can pretty much just do that each time. So I'll see you guys if I get any sick loot drops or if I get any more levels, and see you guys soon. We've finally encountered the mobs. We didn't encounter any earlier. These are the ones I wanted to show off. Void Bearers. These guys are pretty scary. They deal extra damage right at the end of their blue flames. See, they have the Far Shot mod, and they also deal quick fire damage attacks. So each one of these counts as a small projectile that hits you very, very constantly. So it's pretty big damage. But the real risk is when you come across these guys either as a rare or as a magic mob that has multiple projectiles. They're pretty rare, but when they do, they actually fire 3 sets of this many projectiles, and they all overlap and they all hit you, so they will kill you very quickly. The thing that's really nasty about these guys now is when they start shooting you and you actually try and run away, the flames kind of lick at you just as you're getting out of range of them and deal extra damage, so they're pretty dangerous. Fire resist is a must in this zone, and I'll actually go ahead and re-equip my fire resist ring now. There's actually no lightning damage in here. The only damage you'll encounter in here is cold from the ice shots and fire damage from these guys. There's no lightning damage to worry about, so you don't need to worry about any lightning resist in here. Maxing out your fire resist against these guys will help, and should help you survive a lesser multiple projectiles Void Bearer at this level. But even in later difficulties, even with maxed fire resist, they can still be pretty dangerous. Okay, so I just killed a rare mob, and he dropped a white quiver. Now, rare mobs always drop they can drop 2 levels higher items than the current zone levels, so I think this quiver is a good candidate to try and get an upgrade. We currently only have 10 life in our current dexterity one, so it's not a big deal. Just double checking that the dexterity doesn't affect anything if we unequip it. Let's go ahead and chance orbit. Gambling! Oh, it's not too bad. It's not too bad. Crit strike chance and elemental damage with weapons. The elemental damage with weapons mod is pretty nice, and it scales any other elemental damage we have, including this fire and cold on our bows. So I think this is actually probably worth wearing, because we're only losing 10 life from it. So we can actually check 119 DPS to 137. Pretty nice buff, and that'll actually buff up the damage from hatred as well. So 143 now with hatred equipped. So pretty nice stuff. Pretty nice stuff. Now, another way to refresh the dock zone is if you get to the exit at Battlefront, you can simply go into that Battlefront and do the same method, control click on the doorway and use that to create a new zone as well. Hopefully not getting killed in the process. Oh, rare bone bow. I'm excited. It's not the death bow tier, but it could be good. It could be good. Our current one's pretty nice though, so it's gonna have to do well to beat that. Let's go ahead and drop this white one. Check it out. Oh, come on. Whoa, that's pretty good. Wow, that should be a straight upgrade for ours. Ours one has nice damage mods on it, but this one's about the same in terms of elemental damage, but probably a bit more fizz damage. 15 to 44. Actually, well, they're pretty close. They're pretty close. Let's see what the tooltip says. So from 125 to 119, so close. But it's a 4-link. Oh man, that's such a good one. So this is actually a lower level bone bow compared to the royal bow. So one tier down from that even. But it's still pretty nice. Sick rolls. Unfortunately, not an upgrade, which is a bit sad because it's a pretty cool bow. But yeah, really nice, man. And this pack here, once we collect it up and fire trap them all down, should take us to the next level 30. I think I think I've done about 3 runs of docks, so it doesn't take too long at this level to level up, and especially in a higher level zone like this in docks. And docks is just really nice XP at this point. So do I kill off these guys? We should be getting another level. Just been grouping up mobs and kind of using my AoE skills to get them down, and then using split arrow to finish them off. But so close to a level. Come on, look how close we are. 99%. Let's just kill off one of these guys and we'll be leveled. There we go. Okay. So where does that leave us in terms of level? We are on our way. We're on our way. As you can see, I've just been continuing left here. We'll keep beelining towards Blood Magic. We're at level 30 now. We could do a little bit more in docks, and maybe we will. I'll see how I feel at the start of the next episode, going into some of the higher level zones. But what did we get? We got another really nice bow here, which I could potentially even sell if I wanted to trade this to someone leveling. But since we're in softcore league, it's a bit harder to sell leveling items, so I'm just going to go ahead and sell it, even though it was really nice. That helmet is really nice. Looking forward to that. We'll keep the mesh boots aside for now in case we decide we want to try and craft those. Actually, we could probably, let's see how they go on the chance orb. Well, we'll sell them. No, not that good. But sell that stuff off. We're doing pretty well. We've got a nice helmet waiting for us. And in the next episode, we'll continue along and do some of the other side quests. Probably head towards the Gemling Queen first. Anyway, hopefully you guys enjoyed it. I had fun with this episode. That's it for now. I'm ZiggyD, and thanks for watching.